Check, check, check. You already know what time it is, man. It's Cadillac Chronicles. Today we have the legend Tony Terry
in the Cadillac.
in the whip right now.
Yep.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. It's a beautiful day in the city. Beautiful day.
Absolutely. The weather is just right. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful sun is out. Feeling good, man.
Yeah, I am too. I'm not usually up at this hour.
Really?
Yeah, man. I might be up, but my voice is not up until about noon. You know
I
what I
got you. That's what's up. But yeah, we about to get into a classic. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited for you to be here. You an absolute legend.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I think this is a dope idea right here.
Hey, man. I'm just
Riding with the drop top dropped.
Absolutely. I'm just glad to be a part. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When I'm with you, I hear a song that makes me laugh and smile and sing to you. When I'm with you, I feel so free. I feel that love is gonna take control of me, yeah. When I'm with you, it's for real. What I feel when I'm with you, yeah. When I'm with you, I wonder why people do smile. Yes, they do. Smile at us. When I'm with you, the sun shines my way. Maybe our love reflects its rays of light on everyone. When I'm with you, it's for real, yeah. What I feel, oh, when I'm with you, baby. Ooh, yeah. Oh, special touch, a warm embrace, a sweet and tender kiss. Your smile, your smile, your smile, your smile. Body is warm, your heart is so pure. I chill when I look in your eyes. I wonder why people shoot you. When I'm with you, the sun shines my way. Maybe our love reflects its rays of light on everyone. When I'm with you, it's for real. What I feel when I'm with you. So much, yes I do. Yeah, yes I do. Yeah, yes I do. Oh, I give the world to you, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When I'm with Paul trying to stop us. What I feel when I'm with you. Yeah, everything is alright when I'm with you, baby. It's for real. What I feel when I'm with you. Yeah. With you and God in my life, everything's alright. Yeah, it's for real. What I feel, it's okay. Come what may, from day to day. But it's so nice, so right when I'm with you.
It's a great song, man. I wish I could claim that I wrote it, but I didn't.
Word up. Because I was about to ask you, like, who is that about?
Well, there's a good story behind that. So the guy that did write it, Raymond Reeder, who I grew up with in the D.C. area. So when I was in high school, there was this girl that I knew was the absolute dopest girl in school. Her name was Vivian, and she's a dancer because I went to the Duke Ellington School of the Arts in D.C. And so after my first album, I linked up with Raymond. He was playing some songs for me. He played With You for me, and by the time it got to the first, it's for real what I feel when I'm with you, I stopped the tape. I was like, when we cutting this, man? But I also asked him, why did he write the song? Who did he write it about? And he said, Vivian?
That's crazy.
I was like, yeah. I kind of knew what was coming next, but I wasn't sure. I was like, yeah. And he said, I wrote about her. Well, in my mind, in high school, Vivian was my girl.
Wow.
And only in my mind. I never came into fruition. And so he wrote it about her. He had a crush on her too.
So
Probably
she was
like
bad.
Every other guy in school had a crush on her as well. So I couldn't really be mad at him because she was absolutely beautiful. She still is, actually. She's living in Vegas, working, doing very well for herself.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Vivian, man. She inspired one of the greatest
one
songs
of the greatest
of all time.
songs of all time. She did.
That's crazy.
She did. Absolutely.
Did she know that was about her?
She knows. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had
That's
several conversations
fire.
about it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what's up.
Wow. So I'm assuming that when you heard it, you knew. Well, when you recorded it, you knew that it was really like that. And it was that word.
I knew then when I first heard it, but my record company didn't think it was a hit.
Really?
They did not.
Even recorded the way that you
They did not think it was a hit. In fact, they called me. It was such a big deal, and I couldn't understand it. And when I was signed to Epic Records, I was on the label with Michael Jackson and Luther Vandross. Right, so I was like this new kid on the block that they didn't know really what to do with. I didn't even know what my musical style was going to be at that time. I was so young.
How old were you?
I was 20.
Okay.
I was 20. Don't ask me how old I am
now. You were really around some legends.
Yeah,
20 years old.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and okay, so I got called into the label for a meeting, and it was about With You. And I remember the president of the company telling me, he thought only Stevie Wonder could get away with a song like this because it was so corny. Right?
But it's not corny though.
But you know why it's not corny? Because it's honest.
Right, it's like real.
That's genuinely how Raymond felt when he wrote the song. And that's what I got from it. I heard the truth. And so I went to battle for the song. I just was not hearing it. So Epic released the song without any they would do the pre stuff, it's coming, the day of release and all that kind of stuff. They didn't do any of that. So when radio was serviced with my song, as I recalled, it had a blank label, right? So it had no information on it, and which to me would have made the record stand out even more. If you got a pile of records that you're considering adding for new music for the week, you would, a record with no information on it would stand out. So With You started to grow on its own, organically,
Wow.
without the support of the label. And then it just so happened that one day I was walking into my manager's office, and our receptionist was not in at the desk. The phone was ringing, and I answered it, and it was Anita Baker, who I did not know, and she was looking for me.
Wow.
She was looking for me, and I thought it was a joke, but I'm going to go along with it. I really did. And so she told me that she heard my song. She thought it was one of the most beautiful songs that she had ever heard. I was on, back in the day, there was the Arsenio Hall show, and then there was a show that came on after his show called The Party Machine, which was hosted by Nia Peoples,
Okay.
who was married to Howard Hewitt at one point. And so I was on that show, and that's the show that she saw. And she said it woke her up. And she was curious about the fact that she had not seen a video. And I told her the story about the label thinking that it wasn't a hit. They weren't going to do a video. It's not going to be a video. And she was like, what? Those people wouldn't know a hit if it hit them in the forehead. I don't know why I remember that statement, but because it was so long ago. She said those people wouldn't know a hit if it hit them in the forehead. And then she said, Tony Terry, I'm going to send you $50,000.
Wow.
I want you to shoot the video. In fact, I'm going to call my friend Blair Underwood because I want him to direct. And then she gave me access to her publicist, Jay Schwartz, I'll never forget, for 6 months. I was like, why are you doing this? Like, I still didn't believe it. Like, really, why? And I asked her how I'm supposed to pay you back. And she said, just be the star that I know that you are.
Wow, bro.
And so I went out to L.A. Blair directed the video. It was his directorial debut, and he's in it. He made a cameo in the video. And there's another thing, like if you've seen the video for With You, it's a bar scene, and there are several bodies sitting at the bar where you never see their faces. Well, they were all some of Blair's friends, but they were also all soap opera stars.
That's crazy.
They were all the current soap opera stars of the day, who just lent their bodies to the bar, but we never saw their faces.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so legendary.
Yeah, it was dope.
I ain't gonna lie. I might have said like a little tear. That was an amazing story, like for real.
No, it was great. And then you know what? About maybe 25 years later, because the song has been out now almost 35 years, right? And so the Monique show here in Atlanta, right? I had made a guest appearance on the show, and then I heard that Miss Baker was going to be on the show, and my mother-in-law was a huge fan. So my wife and I got tickets to go back as guests to see Miss Baker perform on the show, and they put us on the front row, and we're watching Miss Baker do her thing, and I think she's singing Sweet Love, but right at the end of the song, she opens her eyes, and we make eye contact, right? And her eyes get big. She recognizes me, and they go to commercial break, and she calls Monique over, and they're having a conversation. Well, it looks apparent that they're talking about me.
Right.
They're making gestures towards me. They're looking, and they're kind of giggling. But when she comes back from commercial, she talks about it. She talks about, what the conversation was during the commercial break. And so Miss Baker had told her the story.
Wow.
And she asked her, why did she do that? Why did she do that? And Miss Baker responded by saying, I was led by the Spirit. I was compelled by the Spirit. And if I had not done that, I would have been disobedient. And I had to do it. And that actually moved me to tears. Because I didn't know what her motivation was. She never told me. And for that to be it, to say things like the world needed to hear this, the world needed to see it. And, since I knew that there was no support and I had the means to do it, I did it. She did. And that I called her my guardian angel.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you, Miss Baker.
Absolutely.
I love you to life. I love you to life.
Wow. See, God be showing up for sure.
Yeah, man. And showing out.
Word. That's
Real talk.
amazing, and it's
Yeah.
like it's so crazy that like you were just walking in your purpose, and everything just aligned the way in the divine perfection that it needed to.
Even how the deal happened. When I was living in New York frustrated, ready to go home. And my homeboy at the time, who I become really good friends with, as a result of doing the play, lived in the city while we were working in Jersey. And he came up to me like almost towards the end of the run of this particular show that we were doing. And he said, and he was just in the band, and he said, "Hey, bro, I don't know about all these other cats, but you're a star." And I never considered that before. Like, I knew that I wanted to make music. I knew that I wanted to perform, that I was going to perform because I was doing that. But I never thought, star? I never even considered it. So after the run of the show was over, I moved to New York and became the third roommate in this little apartment that they had up on 158th Street in Riverside Drive. And we worked on a demo, came up with something hot, or we thought was hot. And so I'm ready to go. I'm frustrated. And he says, "Nah, man, we're going to the club tonight." So we go to this place called the Danceteria. And the place was packed. And there was this band there performing, and I thought they were good, but they had this singer who, she had this crazy look, man. She had this big old bow in her hair. And I went all the way down to the ground. I just thought, that is so stupid looking. and so the guy, the band director, after the set, asked me what I thought, because he was good friends with my friend. He asked me what did I think. I said, "Man, I think y'all are dope, except y'all are missing one thing." And he's like, "What? What?" I said, "Me." I was a little cocky. And so I started singing for him right there. But there was a guy standing behind me who I wasn't aware that was standing behind me. And he turns around and he goes, "Man, where did you come from?" And he hands me a card, right? No fanfare, no fluff. He just hands me a card. He said, "Give me a call." And I held on to the card. And I didn't go home the next day. But I called him about 2 weeks later. And it was late. I called him about 11 o'clock at night. Don't know why I called him so late. But he was like, "Wait, I've been waiting for you to call me. Where you at?" You know, he was in the studio. And he was at Unique Recording on 47th and 7th, and I was staying in East Orange. And so he was like, "Come to the studio." Okay. You know, so I take the bus down, get to the train, and I take the PATH train over to New York. And
PATH train.
Yeah, and I get up to the studio. And interestingly, I almost got mugged that night. But I get to the studio, and Parliament Funkadelic is in. I meet my friend there, Daryl. I meet him there. And Parliament Funkadelic is in there recording with Ted Currier. And they're working on the Boogie Boys. You remember the Boogie Boys? A fly girl, boom. A fly girl, boom. A fly girl. It was
Wow.
platinum, one of the first platinum rap records. Anyway, so they were smoking hot at the time. So I go in there, and he got Parliament Funkadelic, and I'm a huge fan of Parliament Funkadelic, so I'm bugging.
That's crazy.
I'm bugging, like it's actually Parliament Funkadelic in there, some of the members, a lot of them. And boy, they was getting down. They probably had been up for like 3 or 4 days, if you know what I mean. And so they're in there recording, and my friend Daryl, who was this typical New York, really fast-talking energy, he goes to Ted. He says, "Yo, man, if you put my boy in the booth, you'll fire all them jokers." And I'm like, "Bro, chill out. We guess, like for real." And so Ted was curious. So he actually calls the guys out of the booth, and they send me in. And they started giving me things to do, like, on this project. I was nailing them. Pow, one take. Pow, one take. And he did fire those guys.
Wow.
Parliament. And he put me on it. So it was the Boogie Boys' second album called The Survival of the Freshest.
That's a hard name.
It was one of the first, if not the first, it was one of the first rap records that had R&B hooks.
Wow.
If not the first, it was on Capitol Records. They had a song called "Dealing with Life," "Will Really Wreck You" or something like that, and then a couple of other singles out, but it didn't take off like A Fly Girl did. But while I was working on that project, while I was in the studio recording, his wife, Sherry, who was his partner at the time, who sounds like Michelet, she comes in and she said, "Tony, come in here and singing for these people. Come in here." So I go into this other room, and there's about 6 people in there that I don't know who they are. But I've been recording all day, so my voice is good and warm, and I had no reason to be nervous because I didn't know who they were, and I was singing all day. So she asked me to sing for them, and I did. I sang "Ribbons in the Sky" by Stevie Wonder.
Whoa.
And they happened to be upper management at Capitol Records.
Wow.
And they signed me right away.
Yo, that's
I didn't even know I was auditioning.
That's crazy.
That's what happened. So I got signed right away to a 7-album deal at Capitol Records.
Wow.
And the gentleman who was responsible for me, Don Grierson, who was A&R, who was A&Ring my project, he got fired. Now, if you know anything about the music business, especially back in the day, first of all, it's an ego-driven business. And so the next A&R guy who came to replace him didn't sign me to the label. So I wasn't his project.
Facts.
Right? So he was concerned about making his own mark. Well, Don was able to convince, because he went over to Epic, he was able to convince Epic to buy my contract from Capitol.
Wow.
Before I sang a note. Didn't do anything yet.
That's crazy.
Didn't do anything yet. So I got signed to Epic, and again wasn't really sure what my music. The Capitol wanted me to do Nat King Cole's catalog, and
wow.
If I had somebody to advise me at that time, I probably would have, but I didn't. And I thought, man, get out of here, Nat King Cole. I'm 20.
So yeah, that's a little weird,
but I didn't understand, or I didn't know that Capitol Records was built by Nat King Cole. The label was literally built on his music. I didn't know that, and had I done that, they would have put everything they had behind the project because it was Nat King Cole. But I just didn't see the vision. I didn't. So I got over to Epic Records, still not sure what my musical style was going to be, and so my first album was kind of all over the place. Pop, bubblegum pop, R&B, ballads, dance stuff. It was just everywhere, just to see what would stick. And I remember finishing the album, kind of feeling good, walking down the street in New York City on 49th Street or something like that. And I run into an old high school friend of mine that I hadn't seen since high school, who was an actor in high school, but now he's a songwriter and producer. And so he plays a song for me, She's Fly. I thought it was dope. I was like, we got to go back to the studio right now. I literally just finished recording my album, but we have to go back. So I took him right back to the studio, and I told Ted, we got to record this song. And it was the last song we recorded, and it ended up being my first single, and it took off. It's like go-go influence, because I'm from D.C., it's a go-go influence record. It took off. It was everywhere, She's Fly. And that started it.
Wow. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
That's a fly story because it really just shows, you know what I'm saying, you're not really knowing, but God always just putting you on the right path.
I was walking in my purpose. I was just doing what I was most passionate about. Like, it's just everything that happened in my musical life seemed like the next logical thing to happen. I just stepped into it. I never chased it. I always wanted it, but I never chased it. I was just, the school that I came from, the Duke Ellington School of the Arts, was, my teachers were artists. They were working artists. So they gave us the work ethic. I knew what it was gonna require of me in terms of the energy and the effort that I needed to put in. So I was doing that. I was never scared to work. I was never scared to try things that I hadn't tried before. I was never scared to work out. I was never, even if I could only do one push-up, I would give you my one push-up and be, you know what I mean? I'd give that one push-up everything I had.
Absolutely.
And then before you knew it, I was able to do 10 and then 20. You know what I mean? So I just stayed in it. And it just seemed to work out. So since graduating high school, music has sustained me and my family, and I haven't had to do much. Well, I haven't had to do anything outside of the music business to provide a living for myself and my family.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
For real.
It is amazing.
And that's really inspirational for anybody that is pursuing music.
Yeah. I always say to people that are pursuing music or anything in the entertainment industry to let passion be your guide. Let passion be your guide. Not money, not influence, but your passion. Do it because you love it. And I think that I'm exceedingly blessed because my gift, and that really has nothing to do with me. I don't own it. It was given to me.
By God.
It was given to me, and it has taken me around the world, literally, a few times. And Come on, man. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I'll end up in some exotic place and I'll say, thank you, God. First of all, the world is beautiful.
Absolutely.
And you created it, and you're giving me the opportunity to see it and to share the gift of music. Thank you. How lucky am I?
It's a wonderful life, man.
Yeah, man. It doesn't come without its stresses.
Absolutely.
But it's still a wonderful life.
Absolutely. It's a balance, you know?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
That's super duper fire.
I love this idea, man. This is dope, bro.
I'm having a great time. Just, you feel me? I'm soaking up all this game right now. This is lit. You feel me? And it's very inspiring. Just, you know, listening to how much you're on your purpose and how God just provides for you. You know what I'm saying? You might not know exactly how it's gonna form, you know, but just trusting God and
go ahead. There's a saying that says, he may not come when you want him, but he's always right on time.
Absolutely. And it's fire because when you talk about the work ethic, it's like to really be successful and to really be on your purpose, you have to fall in love with the process. To where it's like you love it so much that even though you might not see success right now, you keep going anyway.
Yeah.
And that's when it comes.
That's passion being your guide. That's being led by passion. Not chasing it, not clout chasing, not money chasing. Because if you're walking in your purpose, all the things that you need are going to be provided. Yeah, you know what I mean?
This is a great conversation, right?
Yeah.
And I needed to have it. It's like I literally want to like cry right now. Like I'm tearing up a little bit.
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. If you are, and it's not even about being like super focused. It's just like walking in your purpose. If you're like a good guy, seriously, and there's still a few. There's still a few good people in the music business. Not everybody's a snake. Not everybody. But the snakes seem to get all the attention and make everybody else look bad. But I didn't have the experiences that a lot of people had that, you know, whose lives were messed up. I simply didn't have those. I didn't have any of the experiences that would have required me to compromise myself. None of those happened. And none of my friends had those experiences. But interestingly, you know, I was developed and my career fostered and bloomed on the East Coast. And I kind of think the East Coast is a different vibe than the West Coast in terms of, you know, I'm not saying that there are not nefarious things that go on the East Coast, but the experiences were different. At least mine was. And I'm grateful for that because I don't know who I would have been had I had those kinds of experiences. And I'm grateful that I've always walked in the covering. I've always been covered. Even in my own ignorance, even in my foolishness, I've always been covered. God didn't let me do stuff that I wasn't supposed to do. He just didn't let it happen. And if I had intended to do it, something always got in the way and blocked it and make it not happen. Like I said, I was invited to a couple of parties, and when I was in L.A., for some reason, I was not allowed, whatever it was, I was not allowed to go to cross the threshold. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
I was not allowed to do that. And it wasn't because I didn't want to. It wasn't because I wasn't curious. That was not my purpose. And so it just didn't happen. The universe did not allow it to happen.
That's absolutely amazing. What's happening? That's truly amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
And that's very inspirational, and I greatly appreciate you coming through and telling your story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody needs to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that wants to be successful and that wants to just pursue whatever it is that they want to pursue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just walking your purpose, man.
Right. Beyond music. If you're the trash guy. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? That's an honorable gig. Cause check it out. If nobody comes to pick up the trash,
we go to Dirty City.
Right, that's an honorable gig. And so walking in that and being purposeful, bro, you'll have everything you need. You'll have everything you need.
Wow. Yeah, man. So I gotta ask you these two questions.
Okay.
What's something that you're thankful for right now in this moment?
I'm thankful for being here, sharing this conversation with you. and I'm thankful for my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's something that you learned in your life that really helps you?
To surround myself with people, one, who are smarter than me,
Facts.
so that I am constantly learning. And, you know, they say, there's a saying that, like, the people that you associate with are a reflection of who you are. So if you got 5 people hanging around, well, you got 4 people hanging around you, and you're the 5th one, and the 4 they drugging, you probably drugging. You got 4 people hanging around with you, you probably drinking. You got 4 people around you, and they are striving for to make their lives better, then you're probably trying to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
You got 4 people around you that's that's grounded and want to see the world be better. If that's then you're the 5th one, then you're probably doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You birds of a feather.
Flock together.
Come on, man. There it is.
I greatly appreciate you coming through, man. This is a great conversation.
Absolutely,
for real,
bro.
for real.
Absolutely.